Arsenal youngster Charlie Patino has gone viral after destroying Manchester United first-team players Dean Henderson and Phil Jones with a wonderful solo goal. Patino is one of the Gunners' top prospects and has even been called one of the greatest talents to step foot in Hale End. Similar to Jack Wilshere, Patino can glide past defenders with the ball glued to his feet. 17-year-old Arsenal wonderkid Charlie Patino has been tipped by many to be the next star to make a breakthrough into the first team after the likes of Bukayo Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe. Patino drew plaudits from far and wide for his performance in Arsenal under-23's 3-1 win against Man United under-23s and scored a fabulous goal to cap it off. The youngster won the ball back deep in the Man United half before bursting into the box. Phil Jones attempted to slide in and block Patino's run, but he hopped over before chipping Henderson to secure victory. Fans on social media have reacted to the skill and they want to see Patino get a run in the Arsenal first team. Patino was born in Watford to Spanish parents and has represented his country at youth level, captaining England in an under-16 match against Spain when he was just 14. Bukayo Saka, starting to receive several transfer approaches, but Arsenal consider England star untouchable. Fabrizio Romano claims the England star has been approached by a few teams after becoming a key man for club and country. However, Arsenal have no intention of selling Saka as they consider him untouchable. Despite only turning 20 years old this month, Saka has already clocked up 93 appearances for the Gunners, making his debut as a 17-year-old in November 2018. Having played as a wing-back, Saka now looks to have cemented his place in Mikel Arteta's front three. But that hasn't stopped several clubs from registering their interest. Romano told the Here We Go podcast, some clubs are starting to approach Bukayo Saka, as he's one of the best players in his position for the future. But unfortunately for the suitors, Arsenal will not be parting ways with Saka anytime soon. Romano added, Arsenal consider him untouchable. They are planning to build on players like Saka. Jack Wilshere responds to Mikel Arteta's invitation to return to Arsenal. Jack Wilshere plans to speak to Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta in the coming days after being invited back to his former club to train with the first-team squad. The 29-year-old is a free agent, having left Bournemouth at the end of last season, and is currently searching for a new club. While he recently spent time training with Serie B side Como, Arteta last week invited the former England international to return to the club. Speaking of his former teammate, the Arsenal boss said, he is someone that I know, that I shared dressing rooms with and is so loved by everyone here. Our doors are always open. Wilshere has now indicated he is eager to take Arteta up on that offer. I really enjoyed playing with him, sharing a dressing room with him. To hear him come out and say the door is always open is nice, Wilshere told Sky Sports News. I think that it can only help me. As you said, being around good players, training with world-class players and, as well, just being in a team environment is something that I am interested in. I am sure that I will have a conversation with someone at the club over the next couple of days. Arteta joined Arsenal as a player in 2011, the start of a season in which Wilshere played no games at all due to an ankle injury. However, the pair would be regular midfield partners over the next 2 seasons at the Emirates, and both lifted the FA Cup in 2014 and 2015. Arsenal remain keen on signing Alexander Isak, in spite of the Swedish striker recently agreeing a fresh 5-year deal with Real Sociedad. According to Fishadges, he is a target for multiple Premier League clubs after his stunning performances at Euro 2020. His trickery, touch and strength made him one of the unexpected players of the tournament, helping his country to top the group against the odds. Although Alexander was unable to get on the scoresheet during his 4 matches, he spearheaded Sweden's attack with confidence and skill, registering 2 assists. Amid rumors of interest from multiple top clubs, Isak signed a new deal with Sociedad at the start of July, which runs until June 2026 and has an exit clause of £77 million. But this has not stopped speculation that the 21-year-old will depart the Anita Stadium to fulfill his ambitions of playing at the top level. In the last transfer market, Liverpool and Chelsea were both mentioned with Isak, who appears best suited to a role at the Emirates. Alexandre Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang are experienced forwards on high wages, no longer in keeping with Arsenal's recruitment policy. Judging by the club's recent business under technical director Edu and Mikel Arteta, Isak would match the profile of promising, young players with the potential to improve. Takehiro Tomiyasu sends message to Mikel Arteta over his best position for Arsenal. Arsenal new boy Takehiro Tomiyasu has made it clear he has zero preference over his best position and would even be willing to play up front if Mikel Arteta asked him to. The Japan international, who can play in a host of different roles across the back line, lined up at right back in the North London club's 1-0 victory over Norwich City on Saturday. In addition to being able to play as a fullback on either flank, Tomiyasu has also played extensively in the centre of defence during his time with Bologna as well as for the national team. There have been suggestions that the 22-year-old's best position is as a centre-back, particularly in a back three, but Tomiyasu insists he is happy to play anywhere as long as he is on the pitch. Asked where he sees his best position during his first interview with the club, Tomiyasu replied, "For me it doesn't matter because the most important thing is to play in the game. So if the coach told me like, you have to play striker, then I'll play striker. So, yeah, for me it doesn't matter which position I play." On what Arsenal fans can expect from him, he added, "I can play with both feet, I can play every position as a defender. And I'm an intelligent player so I can always read the next situation." Tomiyasu gave a very solid display as Arsenal recorded their first clean sheet of the Premier League season, winning 7 of his 8 aerial duels, and Arteta was very happy with what he saw. Asked to give his verdict on the Japanese defender's debut, the Arsenal boss said, "Really positive. Just the first impression when you met him, it was just joy and happiness and good energy. The moment he steps on the pitch he was really focused, determined, he understands the role really good. He was cramping. Obviously he only trained a day and a half with us, he had to travel, and emotionally it was his first game and we had to take him off." Max Aarons has claimed he could feel the tension in the air when Norwich travelled to Arsenal last weekend. The Gunners have endured a miserable start to the season, losing their first 3 games in their worst opening to a campaign in 118 years. The torrid run was tempered slightly by a narrow 1-0 win over visitors Norwich on Saturday, but the North London club are still down in a lowly 16th position. And Canaries right-back Aarons has now revealed he could sense the nerves in the opposition camp throughout the 90 minutes. "You could tell Arsenal were under a bit of pressure," he told Rio Ferdinand's Vibe with 5 YouTube channel. "You could feel in the game that the fans were a bit tense and the players were a bit tense. You could feel it in the stadium." The 21-year-old Aarons was reportedly being tracked by Arsenal as they eyed defensive reinforcements over the summer. Boss Mikel Arteta was considering him as a replacement for Hector Bellerin, who made a loan move to Real Betis. Arsenal needed over an hour at the Emirates before they were able to break down the Norwich defence, with skipper Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang netting after 66 minutes. Norwich sit rooted to the foot of the Premier League, but Aarons felt his side deserved at least a point from their trip to the capital. He added, "As Norwich we felt that we could have got something out of the game, and it was frustrating not to be honest. I think Arsenal deserved it in the end, but I am disappointed still coming away from it.